Okay, so I just wanted to give a quick example of how to kind of transform data that might be in this format into more of a row-based format where the parameter names are actually columns and the values are kind of more row-based. So one quick way to do this is to use Power Query, and if we were to just try to copy and transform this manually, you'd get something like this, and it's not really kind of what you're looking for at all. It's a quite a few steps to kind of get that corrected. So we're going to highlight this and we're going to create a table out of it with a Control T. I'll turn off our filter button just so we can see a little bit better. And then we're going to go in to create a query to that particular table after we selected in it. And to invert this or to basically get it more horizontal and record based, we're going to basically pivot that column of data right there. So when we do this, it's going to ask us like, well, which columns are you going to use for the values? And we'll just select that. And you'll notice that now we have all of our records as rows instead of kind of jumbled together as columns. So if we simply save and load this back to the spreadsheet, and I'm going to say I want to go to the existing worksheet. We'll slide it right there. Now you can see that we actually have this. Now the cool thing about this is that if you come in and you say, well, I'm going to add in some new data. So let's put in like a 1G55, or let's do it more properly, 1G5555, and copy that value down there. Now let's say that we have HDT on that part, and let's also say that that part has tab width, and let's say 3.5. So if we do a refresh on this data now, we'll say refresh all here, you'll notice that it's automatically adding in the extra column, showing us that record and its completeness. So it's really just a very cool way to kind of identify whether a column has content or not, whether it exists, so on and so forth. But you'll notice here that we have kind of this similar rows. Now this is where Power Query kind of shines. So we can actually come in here and actually do a merge of that data. So you can see here that between these two columns, we have values and nulls. So we could just come in and say merge these columns. And I'm just going to say OK. And this merged column is actually height. So that's all we had to do to make that transform. So now if we come in and say keep that, you'll notice that the data table will update to reflect that value all in the right spot. So if we come in and we add in yet another part, and let's call this one 6F99. Okay, let's copy that down. Let's say it also has a tab width of, let's say 5.5 and HG of 22.7. And if we come in and just do a refresh on this data, you could see that is in fact added it in and put everything correctly, merged the columns and everything. So we have a nice table to work with for any kind of lookups or research that we want to do with that data later on.